Animal shelters across Western New York are always jam-packed. The animals in these shelters have had a hard time finding their forever homes, but multiple organizations have stepped up to help give these potential pets a better chance. Broadcasting Buffalo starts right now. Welcome to Broadcasting Buffalo. I'm your host, Erica Brayson. Tonight we're talking about the animal shelters and organizations that have worked very hard to give our furry friends a better life. Kelly Ackerman has more.
Dozens of dogs around Western New York are looking for their forever homes. Many are rescued from other parts of the country.
Typically, we get all of our dogs from Ohio.
Volunteers from Buffalo Pug and Small Breed Rescue travel to Ohio twice a week to rescue dogs from breeders who are done using them.
These dogs are coming from crates, living in a very cold barn. They don't know a house. They don't know a touch, what love is. So it's a lot of work, but in the end, you're saving a dog, they're going to a new home, and they're making a family very happy.
The organization is always looking for more volunteers and donations. Right now, they have about 45 dogs in rescue. The dogs stay with foster families until they can be spayed or neutered, vetted for health, and adopted out.
Stevie was just spayed on Thursday, and she'll be with me for 2 weeks while she recovers, and then we get her stitches out, and then she'll go to her new family, who she's already met. We found their application, we called them, they met her, and they're waiting patiently for her.
Another local rescue, Diamonds in the Rough, also places dogs with foster homes. Derek and Melaine, Coco Tylo, take up to 4 foster dogs at a time. They highly recommend people open their homes to dogs in need.
Do it. It's the most rewarding thing in the world. You make friends for life through the rescues you work with. You bond with animals for life. The hardest thing is, adopting them out sometimes, but it's also the most rewarding thing.
Several local organizations also rescue dogs at risk of being euthanized from shelters in other states. East Coast Paws has a number of volunteers who drive to pick up the dogs and bring them to Western New York to find permanent homes.
The fact that I can help get them someplace to have a better life means a lot.
For more information about adopting pets, visit broadcastingbuffalo.com. In Tonawanda, I'm Kelly Ackerman.
Thank you, Kelly. When we come back, she spent over 3 decades helping animals in Erie County. We'll be joined by Gina Latuca of the SPCA. Stay with us.
No matter the occasion, Premier Gourmet is here for you. Featuring Buffalo's best craft beer selection, grocery store items, coffee, and gifts. Find locally made Buffalo products and everything you need for your home bar. Visit premiergourmet.com.
Hello, Buffalo. I'm Ed Asner. You may remember me as television's no-nonsense news director Lou Grant. And if you think about it, journalists provide us with our first draft of history. Right here in Buffalo, more than 50 years of TV news coverage is being brought back to life. Local stations are working with the Buffalo Broadcasters Association to bring back the stories that helped define the Niagara frontier.
The Pheasant Lane neighborhood, where drifts reach to the rooftops.
It's called the Archive Project, and I support it with all my heart. So should you.
This is a college that inspires. Here you'll be engaged, strive for excellence, and prepare for a career. Visit our amazing Elmwood Village campus and apply today. You'll achieve your edge here. This place is Buffalo State College.
Welcome back to Broadcasting Buffalo. I'm Erica Brayson. I'm joined tonight by the SPCA Chief Communications Officer and Senior Manager, Gina Latuca. Gina, it's great to see you.
Oh, nice to see you too.
Absolutely. You've been doing this for a long time, and really things haven't changed all that much in terms of the need and what you see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But give us just a snapshot, of today. What are you seeing, at the SPCA right now?
It's interesting, and at the risk of using a cliche, COVID forced us to hit the reset button. And with COVID easing up a little bit, if we can say easing up, and with the introduction of a new president and CEO, what we realized in early 2022 is that there is a need to do something differently. We had been doing, if you want to say doing, animal welfare the same as we had since I started. I started in July of 1990, and bringing animals in to the SPCA for whatever reason, sending animals out, engaging in animal cruelty investigations, animal welfare has looked pretty much the same as it looked, at least from when I started. I can speak from 1990 on. What we realized last year, as COVID eased up, as we brought in a new president and CEO with a different vision, we started thinking about what will happen if we start doing animal welfare differently. What will happen if, rather than doing things the same as we've done them for decades, what if we start putting more resources toward removing the reason people have to surrender animals in the first place? Mm-hmm. What if we start putting more resources toward outreach, toward pet retention, toward a more community-based animal modeling, animal shelter model? And that's what we've started doing in 2023. We're looking for this change of a platform to take about 2 years before the community really understands this shift in the whole animal welfare industry. And I should point out, it's not just us in Erie County. This is going on through shelters across the country, that people are really looking at removing the need people have to surrender their animals in the first place, putting more resources toward pet retention.
Right. You are the perfect person. You have seen this evolve for 3 decades. Yeah. And, the problem is the same, but how do we handle this problem and empower people, really? It sounds like the direction you're moving in, empower people, help people, because it sounds like a great idea. Oh, kids, let's go out and adopt a dog. Let's get a mom. Can I have a puppy? Can I have a kitty? Whatever. And so many people don't realize, if you've never had a pet, what's involved. Every breed is different.
Right.
They all have special needs, especially if you're adopting an animal that's been fostered, an animal that's been abused. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that goes into that. And so you've got to help these people, educate these people.
Oh, right. And every situation is different. After seeing this for 30 plus years, people do a lot of homework. And I've got to give our community a lot of credit. People come into the SPCA already having done some homework. And when it comes to an adoption, sometimes that is the hardest part of the adoption, when you really have to take a long, honest look at your lifestyle and determine the type of animal, and then within that species, which animal would work best for the lifestyle. There are people who come in and, the puppy is the idea, and we want to look at puppies, and when our adoption counselors really sit and talk with them, well, the animal would be alone 12 hours a day or more, and I don't really have a plan for someone coming in. I can't really afford pet sitters. I don't know who would come in to let that animal out of a crate or to train that animal. Once we really start talking with people, sometimes that's the hardest part.
Right.
Really honestly recognizing what the best type of animal would be in our lifestyle. But I have to say, our community, they come in having done some homework. And I don't just mean for dogs. There are people who come in really having done homework on whether a hamster will be the right fit, on whether a bird will be the right fit. So our community really has stepped it up when it comes to preparing for adoption.
That's so important, because there's expense involved, and we're all busy.
Oh, right.
I mean, just like childcare is, a major obstacle.
Sure.
You have to think about the animal. Cats can be home all day. A dog needs a little bit more TLC, And and we were just talking about, you have just recently started a new trial program where you can try out, having a pet at home. And if it doesn't work out, and hate to say return, but you can sort of back out if you have to.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
And this actually goes along with how we're doing animal welfare differently. When we talk about people surrendering animals, we also have to look at the flip side of the coin. How can we make the most successful placement? And we realize there are different categories of animals as we're identifying them. Not every animal will fit in every situation. We've got this category of cats that we have now started calling shadow cats. They're not quite capable of living outside in a barn. There are people who bring in barn cats, or they request feral cat populations to help with rodent control. They don't quite meet that category, but they're also not the cats who would sit on everybody's lap when company comes over. They're cats who are a little untrusting at first.
Sure.
The shadow cat program, this is the cat for the person who says, I don't want to bring a cat into the home because I work too many hours, it wouldn't be fair, or I travel too much for work, it wouldn't be fair. This is the type of pet who would say, work as many hours as you want. just take care of me, I'll come out every so often. Yes, we'll have a bond, but if you go away again, it's fine, I don't need the companionship. So this is the perfect pet for the person in that situation. We've got, as you referred to, trial adoptions. We now call that, we just started it in 2023. It's called If the Fur Fits. And this is not necessarily a foster program. This is adoptable animals. They're on the adoption floor. Someone comes in, falls in love with the animal and says, you know, I really think this animal may work out. I want to do the If the Fur Fits program. I want to bring the animal home for a week and let me see how it works out. If for whatever reason that doesn't work out, and we know life takes over, maybe a child who didn't show an allergic reaction to the animal in the shelter starts showing an allergic reaction to the animal at home. What if the dog in the shelter during the meet and greet, the dog who's already with the family, seemed to get along with the shelter dog in the shelter, but what if all of a sudden you get home to the home dog's home field, the home field advantage, now that dog suddenly becomes a little protective of home base, and all of a sudden it's not such a good match. What happens then? Now you can bring the animal back. There's no commitment. Doesn't mean you're going on a no pets list. That means you can try another animal out. This particular program was kind of a long sell, not just for the community, but for staff and volunteers. Because for so long, so many people are of that mind. Well, when you bring a dog out of the shelter, or even a cat, when that animal is returned, it's so hard on the animal. And a lot of us have maintained that belief rooted in what? Because it hasn't been rooted in data. It hasn't been rooted in past experience. We've never done the program before. It's just something that we have found people say. It's one of those myths that gets perpetuated year after year. You bring the dog back and, oh, it's so hard on the dog now and the dog's going to suffer. When we actually sat and looked at the data about removing an animal from a shelter environment, even temporarily, when that animal comes back to the shelter, is it really hard on the animal? Is the animal not eating? Is the animal pacing? Is the animal circling? None of that turned out to be true. In fact, the opposite turned out to be true. So the If the Fur Fits program is based on data that bringing the animal back isn't so hard on the animal, isn't what we thought.
That's great news. I think it empowers people to really, to give it a try. It sort of opens the door for a lot of people. I think, unfortunately, we could sit here and talk about this the rest of the afternoon, but unfortunately we can't. Gina, thank you so much.
Thank you
for being here today. Coming up, we'll speak to Kimberly LaRussa, a former news reporter who created the organization Sweet Buffalo. She'll be talking about how her online platform unites the community to help animals in need. We'll be right back.
Hello, Buffalo. I'm Ed Asner. You may remember me as television's no-nonsense news director Lou Grant. And if you think about it, journalists provide us with our first draft of history. Right here in Buffalo, more than 50 years of TV news coverage is being brought back to life. Local stations are working with the Buffalo Broadcasters Association to bring back the stories that helped define the Niagara frontier.
Pheasant Lane neighborhood, where drifts reach to the rooftops.
It's called the Archive Project, and I support it with all my heart. So should you.
No matter the occasion, Premier Gourmet is here for you. Featuring Buffalo's best craft beer selection, grocery store items, coffee, and gifts. Find locally made Buffalo products and everything you need for your home bar. Visit premiergourmet.com.
Heritage, architecture, business, innovation, and significant events and people throughout time. The podcast takes inspiration from the museum's collection and beyond, from experts on staff and featured guests. From the 1918 influenza to F. Scott Fitzgerald, experience the stories that make up our region. The Buffalo History Museum Podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcast.
No matter the occasion, the Premier Group is here for you. Take advantage of our easy online ordering and curbside pickup. Or shop the finest selection of unique wines, spirits, and gifts at any of our 3 independently owned Western New York locations.
Your life has taught you a lot. Now your experience can help change a child's life. Read to Succeed and AARP Experience Corps are looking for local volunteers, 50 and older, to help children in Buffalo City schools learn to read. You'll receive training to help you be a great tutor. You have what it takes to change a young person's life. The experience may even change your own. Volunteer by going to readtosucceedbuffalo.org.
Welcome back to Broadcasting Buffalo. I'm Erica Brayson. Tonight we're learning about the desperate need to help homeless animals in Western New York. Carly Lawson has more on the efforts to help cats in shelters.
With animal shelters across the country seeing an increase in animal intake, local cat rescues here in Western New York are partnering with local businesses to increase their rescue efforts.
Local cat rescues such as 10 Lives Club and Second Chance Sheltering Network are using creative partnerships with businesses to promote cat adoptions here in Western New York. Molly Hutton, the owner of Buckminster's Cafe, tells us what inspired her partnership with Second Chance.
Second Chance appealed to me because they were smaller and they're also foster based, so they don't have a physical shelter somewhere where you can go and see all of the cats that they have available.
Hutton says that the cats are medically and socially pre-screened before being transported by Second Chance volunteers and arrive at the cafe on Mondays and Tuesdays when the cafe is closed. Hutton also tells us that Buckminster's offers the cat room where customers can interact with these feline friends.
It's $8 a person on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and $10 a person on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You get an hour in with the cats. We take 5 people in here at a time.
Another local cat rescue, 10 Lives Club, also sees the benefit in partnering with local businesses here in Western New York as well. Crystal Dowman, the cat care coordinator at 10 Lives Club, also tells us why these partnerships are important for the rescue effort.
We're a nonprofit, so the only way that we can help the community with their animals is to do the fundraising. That's how we can feed the animals, take care of them, medicate them, do everything possible to get them back into health and to get them adopted.
One local tattoo shop, Oak and Iron, is one of the many local businesses that has partnered with 10 Lives Club. Ashley Soper, the owner of Oak and Iron, tells us what inspired the shop to host the Rescues Tattoos for Meows event.
Definitely opened the doors with the mindset of being able to give back to the community in every way, shape, or form that we can. So we have done other events where we've donated to different types of charities. We do a lot of dogs rescues and dog events, so this is the first cat one we've done.
To learn more about upcoming rescue events, please visit our website, broadcastingbuffalo.com. For Broadcasting Buffalo, this has been Carly Lawson.
Thanks, Carly. I'm here with Kimberly LaRussa, who is known for the many ways that she organizes kindness for people and animals over the years. She formed Sweet Buffalo back in 2016. Kimberly, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely, and it's great to meet you. You formed this platform, Sweet Buffalo to the Rescue. Now that platform is specifically for helping animals and rescue organizations. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we started Sweet Buffalo Rescue about 2 years ago. Sweet Buffalo was always sharing stories of animals in need of homes and helping animal rescues, but we saw a great need to help them even more. And so we started Sweet Buffalo the Rescue as a way to share these animals and their stories, but also to share the good work that our local rescues are doing to save the animals. And they can only do that with community support. So our goal is to get the community to rally together to help these animals. We partner with local business owners who rally with us and come up with fundraising ideas and campaigns, and we take these animals on our local television stations and we share their stories. So it's really using storytelling and social media and marketing to help these animal rescues right here in Western New York.
You really have your fingers in all different directions on this. We just saw you in the story about the cat shelters. So you're on social media, you have a website, so that's how you advertise and communicate with people. So for people to engage with you, and that's the great thing about social media these days, it's a whole new way to reach out to people and get people to be involved. Primarily, what do you ask your followers to do?
Yeah, well, I asked them, for a variety of things. A lot of rescues, they're in need of donations that might not always be monetary. They might just need donations of food or toys or beds for the animals. And so we'll post that on social media and ask for help. And, lots of animals, sometimes they come in and we find out about them before they're in the shelter. So our goal is to get these animals into a foster home with a local rescue before they even have to go into the shelter. That way, their time with a little bit of stress or anxiety is a little bit relieved because they go right into a loving home temporarily until they find their forever home. So what we do is we partner with our local rescues in Western New York, and we find out what their need is, what they need help with, and then we just kind of, rally together and see what we can do to help. But social media is such an incredible tool to help these animals find homes, and I just think that I'm so grateful to be able to help them in that way, whether that's with storytelling or videos. We have a TikTok, Sweet Buffalo the Rescues on TikTok. We have more than 126,000 followers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so what I do is I go to the animal transports and I see the animals getting off the vans, and I see the volunteers walking them and loving them and helping them. And this is something kind of behind the scenes that not everybody gets to see. So I do a beautiful video for this animal rescue, and some of them get millions of views. And from there, animals get adopted. There's more knowledge of what the animal rescue does, and they get, some donations as well. So it's been really beautiful to be able to take what I learned in journalism and marketing and just, put all that together and help animals.
It's so powerful. I read on your website, you've been quoted as saying, you're destined to do this. It's funny how, things come around and, you land where you feel that you're supposed to be. And, you're not a rescue organization. You are an organization that, takes an army. You've got to have resources and everyone working together for the common good. You were telling me about a special thing you're doing with Resurgence Brewery, kind of fun stuff like that.
Yes, so for the past 3 years, we have teamed up with Resurgence Brewing on the Resurgence to the Rescue photo contest. It actually launches today. And what we do is we ask the community to submit photos of their pets and for a chance to be on the Resurgence beer can. So you could submit a photo of your dog or cat, and every vote is $1, and every dollar goes to helping the animals at City of Buffalo Animal Shelter and 10 Lives Club. So for the past 2 years, we've raised more than $100,000 for both organizations. Wow. And it's all through social media. It's been really great. We have a big celebration party every summer where dogs come into Resurgence and cats, and they all get adopted. And it's those partnerships that really get the job done. So the goal is to work with business owners, you know, together, and it's a win-win for everyone. The business owner gets to help an animal rescue, they have people celebrating at their business, and, you know, animals get adopted, and there's funding that gets to help these animals too. So ideas like that are what we always try to do, new and fresh ideas that people will love and people will engage with to help these animals.
And that's fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, really have your pet, I mean, everyone, you know, it's like your kid. To have your pet, you know, on a can or whatever, you know, I mean, that's just, you know, it's a great thing for families to get involved with. You know, we were talking with Gina from the SPCA earlier. Something like 12,000 animals are helped by the just the SPCA annually, you know. That's just an unbelievable number, and that's just the SPCA. You must, do you feel, you know, what is your thought about the future of, you know, do you really see things improving because of the resources that you have and the platform that you have? I mean, it can only be a good thing, right?
I sure hope so. I mean, my goal is like you mentioned before, it takes a village, takes an army, and I want to see all the animal rescues working together. I want to see all the animal shelters working together, because if we all work together, we make an even bigger difference and a bigger impact. And that has been my goal since I started Sweet Buffalo Rescue, is to bring everyone together. We're all here, we all want to help animals. Let's just do it together.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your efforts, and people can follow you at sweetbuffalo.com.
Yes, sweetbuffalo716.com, and follow Sweet Buffalo on all of our social platforms.
Alrighty, so great to meet you. Thanks so much. When we come back, we'll have some closing thoughts with Kimberly. We'll also, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Broadcasting Buffalo. I'm Erica Brayson. We're back here with Kimberly LaRussa from Sweet Buffalo. We just have another minute or so just to have some closing thoughts here. And, you know, at the end of the day, why should somebody adopt an animal? Well, seems like a simple question, but
yeah,
hard decision.
It is, and you know what? It does require a lot of work, but I tell you what, you get back so much more from adopting an animal. This animal gives you their friendship, they give you their love, their companionship, and there's no love like the love from an animal. So, you know, I just advocate for these animals. It's so much nicer to adopt than to shop. And so I think everyone, if you're interested in adopting an animal, check out your local animal shelter, check out your local rescues. I mean, these animals, they deserve so much and they give us so much back. So it's just so important that, you know, we offer them that love and companionship too.
Absolutely. Thanks again for being here, and thanks so much for all the great work that you do. Appreciate it. Well, on behalf of the Buffalo Broadcasters Association and everyone at Buffalo State University and Canisius College, thank you all again for joining us for this episode of Broadcasting Buffalo. If you'd like more information about volunteering for these irresistible animals, visit our website, broadcastingbuffalo.com. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great night.